that if anybody wants to take out a new policy with FBD or renew their policy, the driver themselves and any named drivers must provide their licence number to FBD. What happens then is that licence number gets validated against the national database. And what the aim of that legislation is that we are trying to get uninsured drivers off the road. So we are communicating with all our drivers well in advance of their renewal date via various means, text message, email, and we are writing to our customers, giving them plenty of notice to provide that information to us. Therefore, when it comes to their renewal, it's seamless at that point in time.
And what advice would you give to new farmers that are going into farming and want to take out an insurance policy? So what advice would you give to those?
Well, first and foremost, what I would recommend is contact the FBD local branch. We have 34 branches across the country, and I feel the best thing that they could do is actually make contact. We have sales representatives who will attend on site. They will sit down at your kitchen table. They will walk among the farm yard and give you advice on what it is that you need insured or not insured based on your own personal circumstances. A lot has changed over the last number of years. With inflation, we have seen sums insured on dwelling houses, outbuildings increased drastically, and also only in the last 12 months livestock values have increased significantly also. So it is important that all sums insured are reviewed and to make sure they are accurate. Therefore, in the event of a claim, you are protected sufficiently. So as I said, the one most important piece of advice is try and reach out to your local branch to get the correct advice.
And finally, farming income, it's quite volatile. So does FBD have flexible payment options for farmers that might know when the next income or paycheck is coming?
Absolutely. It's important that we work with our customers, and we have various payment plans. So any customer can pay by credit card, cash, check, and then we also provide direct debit facilities also where we can, where somebody can spread those installments over 8 monthly installments, thereby taking the burden away from any particular person and having to pay out insurance in one lump sum.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us. Back to the studio.
Hello and welcome to a very special edition of the Dairy Trail podcast, live from the National Ploughing Championships 2025. So I'm joined with Joe Dean, dairy farmer in County Cork, and Mela Briscoe, dairy farmer in County Galway. So Joe, I'll start with yourself. Just tell us a bit about your farm system. So you both have quite unique systems in your own way. So Joe, do you want to just start us off?
Yeah, so I'm living in Agriland, County Cork, kind of from Ploughing in East Cork, we'll say. So I would have started out on a small beef farm, dry stock, and we're currently leasing 4 dairy farms, kind of between South, East and North Cork. So two of them are lease farms on my own, with my wife, we'll say, in our own company, and then 2 of them are in partnerships. They're both lease farms, and then they're 50-50 arrangements with a cousin of mine and a friend of mine then on the other farm. So they've only started this year, basically, those 2 farms.
So Joe, like from what you're saying there's a lot of management involved in that, and a lot of obviously, managing that labour from that perspective as well. So just tell us what your day-to-day looks like, because those 4 farms, that's not easy.
Well, I guess the 4 farms, two of the farms I'm more involved with. I said that the 2 partnership farms I don't have much to do with on a day-to-day, on-the-ground point of view. I suppose I take all correspondence, I pay the bills, and I organise stuff with the lads on a weekly basis or whatever, but not so much on a day-to-day on the ground. And then the 2 farms I have myself, then I suppose we have really good guys. We have a manager on each farm, 2 very good guys. So to be fair, my involvement on the ground on those farms wouldn't be much this time of year either, to be fair. They kind of run themselves at this time of year. I suppose I'm quite hands-on. February, March are very hands-on. April, not so bad. And AI, then again, a bit more hands-on. And then I suppose June on, it's not too bad. It's kind of just oversee and manage from there, so it's not too bad, yeah.
Yeah.
People is a big one, really.
Yeah, very good, very good. And Joe, I suppose, look, you mentioned that you came from dry stock farming, is that right? So I suppose, how did it come to a head that you were going to go into dairy farming, and why did you take that route, I suppose?
Yeah, so I went to Clongilty CIT, NTU or CIT at the time, MTU as it is now, and did a level 7 there, and then I went on to Aberystwyth in Wales to do a level 8 equivalent, and then I suppose I knew I wanted to go farming full time, and I suppose when I started out in college it was going to be beef farming, But I suppose learning in college and realizing on the ground like that it wasn't going to be really feasible at the time. So I suppose that's when my attentions turned to dairy farming. So I guess I went to New Zealand after. Well, I went to New Zealand, did a placement first when I was 19, and for about 3 or 4 months, and that's where I first got a taste for dairy farming. I hadn't milked a cow before that, and then I suppose after I wanted to go back there once I was finished, which I did for about 18 months, and then I really got into dairy farming there. So I knew then it was the career for me, I guess, and just I suppose the experience in New Zealand was really good to see what's possible, and kind of came home then inspired to drive on and do my own thing here.
Yeah, so it was your experience obviously in New Zealand that really kind of drove on that.
Massive, yeah.
And I suppose just like how did it come to buying your first few cows or leasing that first bit of land? How did that come about?
So yeah, when I came back from New Zealand, I managed farms for about nearly 5 years. But immediately when I came home, I started building up stock on my home farm. My father was full-time plumbing, so he wasn't really reliant on the farm as such. So I was lucky, I suppose, that I was able to build up stock there.
Yeah.
All my wages went into that, really, building up stock. And I guess in my final 2 years of management, I was able to lease stock in, dairy stock into those farms, and that helped me to build up. So when I took the first step in 2017, my first lease farm, I had, we'll say, 50 mature stock, first and second lactations, and then I had 70 in-calf heifers built up at home as well coming through. So I had a good bit of stock to start with, I guess,
Yeah, so I suppose like starting off with that amount of young stock as well, it would have been hard to build up that cash flow and being able to invest back into the business, I suppose. So that was obviously difficult as well, Joe.
Yeah, look, I suppose it was good times as well. There was opportunity there, and stock, I suppose, prices weren't as bad as they were now, like even costs and everything. So it was a good time to be getting going compared to now, I suppose. It's probably a bit tougher, I would say.
Yeah.
Once you get going at all, once you get a foothold at all.
Very good.
Off,
And Mela, I'll turn to you. So, do you want to just give us a quick background of your farm system? And
okay,
like obviously you're a quite different situation. We were talking before that grass is pumping in Galway. Yeah, and poor Joe here hasn't got much share. So
we had a very charmed life this year. We've had great grass growth the whole year. So sympathies, Joe. I'm farming with my husband and 2 sons in southeast Galway near Portumna. Originally, when we got married first, myself and my husband farmed separately. He had a dairy and beef farm. I had cattle and sheep. And in 2012, we formed a milk production partnership and converted my farm to dairying. So now we're milking across 2 blocks. And in 2024, we formed a partnership of 2 companies. And our two sons, 2 of our 3 children are farming with us full-time in the business. And they're coming into the partnership next year with us. So we're milking across the 2 platforms, and it's full on, mad busy every day, but we love it. We get a great kick out of it.
And how does the 2 platforms work then, Mela?
Well, so there's about 4 miles in the difference, which isn't too bad. Now, ideally, I suppose it'd be much easier and simpler and cheaper to run it if it was all in 1 block, but that doesn't happen. I was just telling Joe there, a few years ago, we did actually look at buying a block, selling each of our own parcels and buying 1 big block, but neither of us wanted to part with our own. So we're stuck with 2 parcels now. 4 miles apart isn't too bad. So yeah, look at it. It's busy. It's full on. We're constantly developing, constantly, going on to the next project. So Kevin and Jack will be on 1 block. They're making around 120 cows this year. And myself and Nate on the block down the road, we're making about 240.
And I suppose, Mela, so you've 2 sons there, both mad to go farming.
Yeah.
So how did that discussion first come about that, this is what we could do and this would be the arrangement?
Well, the first thing is myself and Kevin, we love what we do. And I've always said to the children, you need to love what you do and you need to be financially independent. So for whatever career you choose, be happy at it. The other thing is when the 3 children, from the time they couldn't understand, I always said to them, if the 3 of you want to farm, if none of you want to farm, that's fine. But you must love what you do and be able to back yourself financially. And it just morphed into that, we brought them with us everywhere. I'm surprised they weren't sick of it, but no, the 2 lads went to Pallaskenry and came back to farm. I tried to get them to go away and work different places first, but that failed gloriously. So we're all at home together now. Our daughter Maeve is a great farmer, but she doesn't want to farm with us. Yep. She milks for other people, but she won't milk for us. And I've tried to coax her on occasion, but no, she doesn't want to farm with us. So she's just finishing college this year. So in general, we get on fairly well. Like, we're not happy-clappy every day, but there's no big rows. I'm a big believer in sitting down and discussing plans and talking about what we're doing next. Like even last Monday morning now, we sat down on the table to discuss our plan for the next 12 months.
Yeah.
So communication is a lot of it. Now, that doesn't mean to say, like, we still are four very different people. We don't always agree, but we get along.
And in general, do the lads agree with what way you're farming? Are they going to switch the system up a bit, or?
Well, look, they're young and enthusiastic. They want to do it their own way. And I suppose I'm only milking cows 10 years, and I love it now. I mean, I missed the sheep for a long time. I love my job, and I find it very hard to step aside now and let them at it. It's a big, all this talk about succession, it is hard to step to the side and let the next generation. But we're blessed to have them, and they're full of enthusiasm and energy and great ideas, and they're passionate about it. So happy days.
So once you have that, you're on the right road.
Yeah, look, you have to. Farming is a vocation, and you have to love it. And they have that Crawford as well. So happy days.
Yeah, very good. Joe, I'll move back to you now, and just to kind of give us an understanding, I suppose, of kind of what current production looks like on your farm. So I believe, like, we know that kind of the south and southeast have been kind of burnt up ever so slightly in the last couple of weeks. So I suppose feeding out and trying to keep up production.
Yeah, we're back on track, I suppose, really with the past week. I guess most of the farms now we feed kind of cut out back to maybe a kilo ration, and we grow fodder beet on all the farms as well. So we were lucky enough to be able to go into that kind of start grazing at the end of August, which helped us to build a cover. So we're fairly on target now, I would say. Like, we've covers in the 900s, push up in 1,000 on a couple of farms. So, and growths are strong 60s. So we were able to cut demand. We moved we took on a new farm this year, one of the partnership farms. So we actually moved the empties and the late calving ones from one of the other farms onto that farm. Just so it helped us consolidate a bit and take the pressure off on the other farms. So we're back on track now at this stage. And I guess with all the feed that went in, cows actually milked quite well, to be fair. And still are, we kind of ranging from 1.5 to 1.8 kilo milk solids, depending on the farm and stage you're at, I suppose, of development and stuff. So happy enough, really.
Very good. And I suppose what type of cow is it on the farm? Is it the same type of cow that you're trying to push on each system? Is it, or?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, it's a Jersey Friesian cross is where we're at.
Okay.
Sort of 520 kilo cow, producing, like last year we would have produced, I suppose, anything from 420 to 480, depending on the farm, depending on the percentage of heifers and stuff. Some of the farms perform better, but this year I'd say we're on track for closer to 480 to 500, really on I suppose 2 of the 4 farms. Anyway, 2 of the farms are new this year, so they have younger herds and not as good a herds, whatever. But we're going well now, yeah.
Very good, very good. And Mel, I suppose back to yourself. So I suppose grass growth is that bit better, probably.
Absolutely.
In the west. So what's the current situation look like for yourself?
So on one block, we actually bought the farm next door. So our demand is very low once we got in there, and it also gave us access to a lease block up the road. So we actually have loads of grass there and trying to manage that. So we brought some of the heifers back to try and graze that. On the other block then, we got a bit smarter in ourselves, and we did maybe a lot of reseeding too late in the year. So our demand is a bit high. So we had to start put silage in there about 10 days ago, trying to manage that. But we grazed half of that yesterday. So hopefully that'll come back again fairly quick. We'll get some slurry on it now, hopefully in the next few days, and get it back again. So the other bit that we did, I don't know, we'll have to bring lighter stock in to graze it. It's very marginal sort of ground. But in general, we've had a super year. Growth has been very consistent. Our production is way up on what it was last year. Like last year, we averaged around 495 kilos on average over the 2. This year, we're heading for around 530. We never went over the 500 before. So it's looking like it's been a Carlsberg of a year for us so far.
Yeah, very good, very good. Joe, I suppose this breeding season, I suppose you touched on your cow type. So I suppose, what is it that you were looking for maybe the season just passed? What type of traits were you looking for in your bulls, and what are you kind of trying to drive on? Is it production, fertility, or what way are you looking there?
We're not strongly focused on, we'll watch EBI, but we won't be chasing the highest EBI bulls, I suppose. Milk is quite important to us, I suppose, like, sort of a milk sub-index of, I suppose, 80, 90, 100 plus on bulls, we're looking for, and we're not too focused on the fertility side of it, with the crossbred, it's probably there anyway. Like, we're generally getting sort of 88% kind of 6-week calving rate anyway, and sort of maybe 10%, around the 10% empty rate. So look, we're happy enough where we're at there. So look, we're not, breeding probably isn't our main focus. Look, it's once they're a tough cow, able to convert grass to milk really, and go back and calf, and survive the system really. We're not not too worried,
Yeah, and is it high solids percentages that you're kind of looking at?
Oh, we are. We are. But I mean, look, it's not the main driver, I would say. It's a driver, but we want low cost systems, so it's got to be a cow that's going to survive on a low level of feed.
Yes, yeah.
We haven't unfortunately been able to do that the last couple of years, but we're still trying to breed a cow that is resilient. If we happen to lose derogation or whatever, we just want a tough, resilient type.
Cow that can be efficient and drive on production through grass, is it?
Yeah.
And did you feed much meal last year? I suppose last year was slightly different anyway.
Yeah, like we were in the 600 to 700 kilos of bracket last year, but that would be high for us. I would say we'll be that year. We'll be that this year again, at least, if not a bit more. But like we've had years of 400 kilos of meal. Like 500 is probably fairly average for us, I would say.
Yeah, very good. And Mela, I know you've a slightly different cow type.
Yeah,
the black and white. And it is a Holstein Friesian type cow. So I suppose for your breeding season is probably
we just scanned her last week now. We did 10.5 weeks and we have 9.5% empty, which we're happy with that. And we have looking at around 92% 6-week calving rate. So very happy with that this year. What we do, we have the early cows are on one block and we use AI on them. And then the one thing on from sort of the 26th of February on are on the other block. And we'll just set the stock bulls with them, the beef stock bulls. And we use sex semen then on the heifers. My main focus with breeding is trying to improve our percentage of protein because like the co-op pays twice as much for a kilo of protein as it does for fat. So that's where my main driver is picking the bulls for protein.
Very, very good, very good. I suppose, look, I'll just give a final question to the two of you, I suppose, and it will be the same question. So I suppose you mentioned nitrates derogation, Joe. I suppose what impact would that have on your farm and what way could you change things if we did lose the derogation?
Don't say that. Don't talk about the elephant in the room. Actually, look, inevitably, like I say profitability is going to be reduced by at least 20%. You know what I mean? We're probably not too bad overall. I would say like we bought a bit of land lately and we have a good bit of support ground. So we're probably in around the 210 mark. So like down to the 170 will be a substantial drop. All right, I know, but look, I know where milk prices are. I know we'd ride it out, we'd be fine. But obviously, all lease ground. I don't have a head start. You know what I mean? I'm kind of a bit behind as it is. You know, and you got to pay that lease before anyone gets out of the bed in the morning. You know, and the other farmer owns all his own land. But look, I'm quite positive. I think milk price should be strong, and we can control our costs is our biggest thing. Really, like we won't be like if derogation happened to go, like we'd be cutting out as much meat as possible, cutting out as much nitrogen as possible. You know, and just ride it out. Like I guess we'd try and take on a bit of land, try and hold cow numbers. You know. Yeah,
and for yourself, Mela, I suppose.
Well, look at we're ploughing on. You know, we're planning on doing a new parlour next year. We have 2 successors. We're committed. You know, like there's always been threats and challenges. I mean, I know when I was in college, the quota came in on sheep numbers. I thought it was the end of the world. I thought my farming career was over. And look at here we are now. You know, 40 years later. So, yes, there will be adjustments, but like. You know, there's a lot of other opportunities coming up around. There's a lot of land being freed up, whether you lease it or buy it. And, you know, if you have an efficient system and if you know your numbers, I see a way forward. You know, we'll get through it.
Yeah. So, look, you both have a very positive outlook on the dairy. And, look, we'll wrap it up there. I suppose I just want to thank you both for coming on to the podcast and hope you enjoy the rest of the Ploughing Championships. Hope cows keep performing, producing, pumping milk, grass stays growing. And we have a good back end to the year. So thank you very much for listening to the Dairy Trail podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Right, lads, tell us your names and where you're from.
Frank from Cork.
Good man.
And Peter, his brother from Cork as well, yeah.
And he is farming, lads.
Not me, but
we've a free range pig farm in Cork, so we're farming Cork City, like. Yeah.
Oh, very good, very good. And what has you down at the Ploughing here today? Or up to the Ploughing? You come from Cork.
Yeah, just to have a look around the machinery and just posh around, see what's new on the market. And
very good, very good. And you,
jerseys for the kids.
you got a fair bit. You were doing a good bit of shopping.
Look, we were used to coming up here as kids and getting Britain's tractors and seeing more livestock and more tractors and stuff. But it seems to be more. It's still a fabulous show, like, but it seems to be more commercial now, like. Whatever.
Were you looking at any machinery or any cattle yourselves, or?
No, not really. We're looking at weighing scales for the pigs and stuff like that, but I didn't see much, to be honest. But
do you bring home anything?
Just a bit of beauty products.
Beauty products for herself, is it? yeah. Look after that end of things first. Yeah. Right, girls, tell us what your names and where you're from.
I'm Marie. I'm from Mayo.
I'm Chloe. And I'm from Mayo.
And what has you down at the Ploughing, girls?
Just for a bit of crack.
Bit of crack?
Yeah.
Bit of crack, bit of laugh.
Bit of a laugh. And what have you seen that's interesting so far?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah, Irish people are just so fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
The cows.
cows. And he's farming yourself? No.
No, townies.
Townies. And,
Yeah.
and you still.
not really. Kind of half.
Have you got the wellies on?
We do.
Ah, see, a good clean townie welly though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Hasn't seen much dirt, has it?
No.
No.
And would you even think of going out on the farm?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
And what type of farm would you like to go out to?
grandparents have farms.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, have you been looking at cattle or tractors or anything like that? No.
I've got a
No.
few pictures with
No.
some tractors.
So what?
We
So what is the
did.
most interesting thing that you've seen? Is it the jerseys or what do you think?
Oh, you guys.
Yeah. Agriland. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. And then did you get any free stuff?
We got glasses.
Sunglasses. Yeah. Give them a show to the camera. Yeah, there you go. Right, lads, tell us your names and where you're from.
John Scraig from Wicklow.
And yourself?
Noah Holly from Wicklow.
Cheers, lads. And you enjoying the ploughing?
I am, yeah.
You enjoying the ploughing?
Yeah, it's class, it is.
And come here, what's with all the pens and all the glasses?
You have to take the free stuff.
So what? Stack them around the neck, is it?
Yeah.
And are they all your pens as well, are they?
Yeah.
Well, you're looking the part, I must say. Are you going to share the glasses with your man, are you?
I will, yeah.
Yeah, fair play to you. And you've got hurls as well, so
Yeah.
how would you get the hurls for?
40, I think, with the tape.
Good deal.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And you get the slitter with it?
No, that was
Oh,
five.
you pay extra. You lads, you need to haggle the boys down, I tell you.
Yeah.
And come here, what's the plan for the rest of the day, so?
Just looking around still. Might get food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yourself?
Same as him, yeah.
Yeah. And are you farming at home yourselves?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
And so what type of farming is that at home?
Cow farming.
Dairy?
Yeah. No. We're kind of like buying calves and raising them and selling them off.
Ah, fair play to you. And making money this year, are you?
I am, yeah.
And would you help out a good bit?
I would, yeah.
And you farming this yourself?
No, I don't know.
Right, so you're just here for the crack. You're seeing what the mud is like, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair play, lads. Look, enjoy the rest of your day. Fair play to you.
Yeah, thank
Thanks.
you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Well, a couple of cool dudes there talking to you out and about, and plenty of pens if you're looking for one there. Well, that brings us to the end of our live stream for day 2 here at the Ploughing at Screggan in Tullamore, County Offaly. But just the end of the live stream does not mean the end of Agriland's coverage. We will continue to be out and about today, taking videos, doing interviews and chatting to people around about the Ploughing site, and we'll be putting them up on our site, on the smartphone app and across all our socials. So do follow us on Instagram, TikTok, wherever you can find us online. And remember, try and get into the Agriland stand here as soon as you can. We're just after 3 o'clock. From 4 to 7 this evening, news talker here, Kieran Cudahy from The Hard Shoulder, will broadcast the programme between 4 and 7. Agriland will be involved in that as well. So come early if you want to get your seat before all the seats are gone. And we will also be keeping our coverage all the way right through to the end of day 2 of Ploughing with the attendance figures today. And there was a great crowd today. The weather was out, which was great. So it'll be interesting to see what the figures show. But stay tuned to Agriland. We'll also be back again tomorrow from 12 with our live stream.
Welcome to day 2 of the National Ploughing Championships here in Screggan, Tullamore, County Offaly.
The wellies are on. We are ready for day 2.